Game 6 on our network Thursday.
Big time.
I'm guaranteeing a Raptors victory.
Hello, Canada. Welcome to SportsCenter with Jay and Dan, brought to you by our good friends at Tim Hortons. On Monday night in downtown Toronto, it was once again the most important game in Toronto Raptors history. We keep saying that, but it's the truth every time.
They had a chance to win an NBA title. It's as simple as that. Up 3-1. Everything was lining up beautifully. Sir Richard Branson flew in for the game. And I remember seeing him and thinking, well, I guess they're going to win it. Branson's here.
You got Branson luck.
Branson luck. And this was the unfortunate thing. If you're a Raptor fan, Kevin Durant decided to come in and play this game.
Yeah, it was
and
huge.
Early on in this one, he looked pretty darn good. Raptors, as Dan mentioned, just a win away from their first title in franchise history. They've closed out each series at home. There's Durant playing for the first time in over a month. First quarter, Kyle Lowry to Kawhi Leonard. It's a thing of beauty. Raptors 8-0 in Game 5s at home in team history, by the way. Next possession, Lowry to Marc Gasol. Steady veteran presence, great touch. Toronto's got their first lead. Durant, as I mentioned, started real well. 11 first-quarter points, but in the second, Serge Ibaka guarding him. And Durant comes up limping. That same calf that he was rehabbing from. Now, fans were initially cheering, but then Kyle Lowry and Serge Ibaka wisely said, guys, we can't cheer that. And to the fans' credit, they chanted KD, KD as he left the court. Obviously, Steph Curry pretty upset, and there's Durant leaving the building on crutches. Later, Boogie Cousins has a look from 3, stolen by Kyle Lowry. He's taking it all the way. Then under 2 to play in the first half, Lowry, another steal. Pascal Siakam will finish at the rim. Raptors were actually down 6 at halftime, but remember, they've come back to win the last 3 games that they have trailed at the half. That's Drake. That's Wayne Gretzky. Early third quarter, Raps down 11. Siakam, Van Vliet, senior. Next trip down, Siakam, capping off a 7-0 Raptors run. Oh, the crowd was so good in this one. Late in the quarter, Lowry taking it to the rack. Raptors down 6 for the 3rd straight quarter, however. Then just over 8 to play. Lowry, going to take that shot. Raptors within 3. Then just over 8 to play. Lowry to Serge. Loves roll Sam for fried rice. Just over 7 to play. Steph Curry, blocked by Kawhi. Great pressure by Ibaka as well. Just over 6 to play. Leonard to Norm Powell. T-shirt. Huge dunk. Warriors wanted to travel on Leonard. Raptors take the lead. Steve Kerr was very upset. It's kind of funny when Steve Kerr gets upset because he seems like such a nice guy. Just over 5 to play. Leonard. And the Raps have the lead. And then after making a layup, Leonard for 3 again. The place went bananas. Raptors up 4. Leonard working on Thompson. Drains it. Toronto's up 6 with just over 3 to play. But under 2 to play now. 3-point game. Curry ties it. And the Raptors down 1, dying seconds. Leonard double team. Van Vliet to Lowry. Hits the backboard. Not even close. Golden State holds on. Golden State lives to fight another day. Raptors do not clinch. However, Game 6 is this Thursday on TSN, where the Raps will have a chance to win their first NBA title on the road in a building they won both games so far in this series. Remember, Golden State was down 3-1 to OKC in the 2016 West Final, came back to win. Teams up 3-1 are 33-1 all-time in the NBA Finals. The Warriors, the 6th team in the last 40 seasons to win a road game in the finals to avoid elimination. Yeah, Steph missed some key three-pointers in this one, but in the end, he really did come up big when it counted. The Splash Brothers. 26 points for Clay, 31 for Steph Curry. By the way, Clay is averaging, he has at least 21 points in the 4 games he's played in this series. Curry averaging over 32 points a game in the NBA Finals. And joining us now from Scotiabank, Jack Armstrong, Sam Mitchell. Guys, Game 5 came down to that final possession. The Warriors' defense absolutely huge. How did you guys see it?
Well, first of all, Nick Nurse elected not to call the timeout and play on, and Nick Nurse has done that a lot this year, so he trusts his players. Give the Warriors credit. They got the ball out of Kawhi Leonard's hands, which is the smart thing to do. Steve Kerr went with a smaller lineup, put Sean Livingston in the game for DeMarcus Cousins, so they had a lot of switchability and mobility, and they did a good job.
And, Jack, to your point, first of all, Nick Nurse has done an unbelievable job throughout the playoffs and the regular season to have this Raptors team in this position. So we're not going to second-guess the coach. Second, give Steve Kerr some credit. He made the change. He took DeMarcus out. And to Jack's point, now what the Warriors did, they trapped Kawhi Leonard, forced the ball out of his hand, and now with a quicker, faster lineup, they can get into rotation, and they forced Kyle into a tough shot because of their quickness and their length.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I thought they did a good job down the stretch, Golden State defensively. And on the other side, I thought the Raptors, after getting that 6-point lead, had a few possessions I think they'd like to have back in terms of the flow and the type of shot selection they got. And give the Warrior credit. I mentioned the word flow, Sam. The ball moved. They set screens. The ball got to the weak side, and they got open shots, and their 2 guards, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, were magnificent.
And, Jack, you know this. When you have a lead with under 2 minutes to go, 5 or 6 points like that, the tough thing as a coach is how fast do you go? Because you're trying to eat a little time because you don't want to leave a lot of clock for the opposing team, but you don't want to go too slow to where you let the shot clock be an extra defender. And that's the dynamics that you always, that tug of war inside as a coach. But again, to Jack's point, you got to give Golden State credit. They found a way to win this basketball game, and I'm going to give a lot of credit to Kevin Durant because he only played 12 minutes, Jack. But those 12 minutes gave this team such a lift, and because they had a lead at the end of the first quarter, something they don't do in this series, it kind of gave them a lift, and that little cushion it gave them enough light to hang on and win this game.
And guys, this has been a weird series. The road team has won 4 of the 5 games.
Unheard of.
Right?
It never happens.
It's pretty crazy. And one other thing, the Warriors made 23s, the Raptors only 8 tonight, so the Raptors got scored like 36 points on the home run ball. So obviously got to tighten up the screws on the perimeter defense because it's coming from those guys. And on the other hand, the Raptors again had some really good looks, just couldn't make them.
And guys, Nick Nurse taking a lot of heat for calling a timeout, up 6 with 3:05 left. Everyone says that killed the momentum. Your take on that?
Jack, I don't agree with that. I mean, first of all, look, this man's been coaching this team all year, so he understands this team and he knows the situation. So, again, to start nitpicking and criticizing the coach, how can you criticize a coach who's got your team still 1 win away? People forgetting the Raptors are up 3-2, and even if they lose in Golden State, they got Game 7 at home. So, again, there's a lot of ways you could have played this. Jack, you know this. When it works as a coach, you're a genius. When it don't work, you're not. That's just how it goes.
And it was an interesting scenario for Steve Kerr in that situation because he only had 1 timeout left, and he walked on the court, was going to get a tech, so he took the timeout, and now they only had 1 timeout left, and he couldn't stop that run. So on the other side, Nick Nurse, looking at his team at that moment, wants sureness and is looking at fatigue issues as well, personnel groupings. There's a lot that goes in it, and plus you're at home. Right? You got to feel confident, even if you call the timeout, that you want your team refocused and regrouping at that moment to get that final push. It didn't happen. The issues were big on the defensive end. They allowed Klay and Steph to get loose. And again, give Golden State credit. They had great flow in their offense.
And Jack, to your point, if you could do one thing different, change your lineup, and so when Steph and Clay are coming off those screens, you can switch out and deny the pass, and you can take that slip away. Other than that, I thought the Raptors, look, they were up 6 with under 2 minutes to go. What else can you ask for in a closeout game at home?
It's true. And you guys mentioned Kevin Durant giving him that boost initially. Looks like he re-aggravated that same calf injury. Obviously, I think you guys answered the question. You know, some people are saying, well, should he have played, should he have not played? But as you said, Sam, he ended up giving him a boost, and a boost that they probably needed to win this game.
It was a breath of fresh air for Kevin Durant to walk on the floor and hit his first 2 threes. Think about it, 11 points in 12 minutes. Look, Golden State had led in the first quarter throughout this entire series, and Kevin Durant gave that, and I think it just gave them enough energy to just hang on and win this game, and it put that in their mind that they can win this game at the end. Those 2 shots by Steph Curry and Klay Thompson were just unbelievable.
And it was a 3-point barrage, and KD was part of that. And I thought the Warriors did a great job in 2 areas, okay? The Raptors turned the ball over tonight. They still won the turnover battle, but Golden State really did a beautiful job cashing in on turnovers. And the second thing is they did a great job, Golden State as well, offensive rebound, second chance opportunities, throw it out to the 3-point line, home run ball. They really made the Raptors pay in those possessions. Got to win those 50-50 balls.
And they've just announced, guys, that Kevin Durant's injury was, in fact, an Achilles injury. Probably always was. We suspected that might have been the case all along, and that they were hiding that. So that makes it, I think you guys would agree, even more amazing that he was able to come back and play the minutes that he did in this game.
Yeah.
I give the guy a lot of credit.
I tore my Achilles 8 months ago, and I'm still limping, okay? So it is a devastating injury, and for this guy to come out and play with anything going on with that Achilles, it's just, again, it's amazing.
It speaks to his character that he cares enough about his teammates and coaches that he wanted to be with them in a game like this and to come out there and give it his best shot, and he was excellent. I feel for him. He's one of my favorite players in the NBA.
Absolutely.
He's a joy to watch play, and hopefully he'll be okay and have an opportunity to be on the floor wherever he is next season. But it's obviously an unfortunate thing for a class act and a great player.
Okay, guys, appreciate it. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Yeah, because they've got to go to Oakland.
Yes.
The Raptors going to try close it out again. Guess who has Game 6?
Yes!
It's Thursday. Across the TSN network, coverage starting at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, and you can also get it on TSN Direct. A lot of people getting it that way.
And those guys pointed it out. This is a bizarre NBA Finals in that 4 of the 5 games have been won by road teams. Yeah. So if you're a Raptor fan feeling maybe a little down about the fact that they didn't win last night, that's got to be a positive thing going into the Oracle on Thursday night.
And you have to remember, it's the 2-time defending champs. It's not going to be easy. So
that's right. And it's a 1-point game.
Yes.
You know, right? It's a 1-point game. So, yeah, Thursday night, TSN. We'll see you there.
Still to come, we have plenty more Raps coverage of Game 5 as we head back to Scotiabank Arena. More reaction. That's next on SportsCenter with Jay and Dan. Steve Kerr. Look at that. A very impressive 6-1 when facing elimination in his coaching career, while Golden State improves to 3-1 when trailing in the finals under Steve Kerr. Now let's get more on that Raps final possession from Fred VanVleet.
Obviously, you know, give Kawhi the ball and let him make a play. We knew they'd probably double, so, you know, just try to be available. It's probably not great spacing at the end there, but, you know, he made the right play, gave it up. Threw it back to me. Sean rotated, and I was trying to just play the 2-on-1 with Kyle and Mark, and you know, Draymond did a good job of playing both. So Kyle got a look, you know, not a great look. I think Draymond got a piece of it, and you know, give those guys credit for guarding that well.
The final possession, it was kind of a wacky one.
You know what? Sam and Jack said it best. Like, Golden State just played terrific defense on that final possession. You know, doubling up Kawhi, and Kyle just couldn't get a good shot away. You know, that's just the way it goes sometimes. But so, like they say, you got to give the other team credit sometimes.
We need more from guys that were in the arena.
Yeah.
Witnessing this.
Jimmy Buckets?
James Duthie?
Thank you, boys. How are you? By the way, on that last possession, Chris also thought there should have been a timeout as soon as Kawhi didn't have anything with 7 or 8 seconds left. But I know they focused a lot on that, so let's look at the rest of the game and where things went wrong for the Raptors. And if you want to look at one number, it is outside shooting, where the Raptors shot 25% from three-point land and the Warriors 47.6. They make 20, a 36-point difference in the end. That's the ball game, isn't it?
Sounds crazy when you say it. That's the ball game. And, hey, look, that's the Warriors' lifeblood, okay? Usually in series like this, you want to take away the strong points of another team. Now, the Splash Brothers are only probably the greatest duo to ever shoot it. Probably each 1A and 1B, the greatest shooters to ever live. 23s, that's too much. If any time Golden State hits a lot of threes, you're probably not going to win that game. The Raptors never got to their game. They never played it, allowed Golden State breathing room and a lot of space, and they were able to capitalize.
They've been so good defensively. What was that? That was a key one down.
That was the key
What happened
one.
to Van Fleet?
I mean, I think if you're Van Vliet, you have to be in his shirt. I mean, that's one of those things. It's NBA. It's championship time. It is time to get an NBA championship. You get this stop right here against the best shooter in the world, you're probably going to get an NBA championship. That's the urgency that you have to have in those moments, the whole team. So they should have known exactly where Steph Curry was. They should have had the communication. Kyle could have helped a lot more off of Andre Iguodala. Van Vliet, hey man, I know it's not easy. It's not hard. It's not easy at all. This is the hardest thing guys are ever going to have to do, but you have to pull through and make it happen.
Says something though that with Durant out, and you think that would have really sucked the wind out of the Warriors, and instead they go on a run. First of all, 9-2 right out of that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, when he walked off the court, I thought the game was over because that had to be so demoralizing.
Well, I mean, it is demoralizing, but sometimes it can be encouraging to people to really step up their game. And it was on the Raptors to really put their foot on their neck and really go in for the kill. They smelled blood, but they just didn't capitalize. For the whole rest of the game, they were up 4 points. They never ever
They were chasing
really
the game
relinquished.
most of it.
Yeah, the Warriors never really relinquished the lead, and then just
that
bad
last three.
plays. It's just a tough pill to swallow. That three right there, those things can't happen. Not in a game 5.
You're right. They were chasing the game the entire game, but they caught the game because Kawhi went on that crazy run where he scored 10 straight points, and you're up 6 with the ball, and some are questioning Nick Nurse not only not taking a timeout in the last possession, but taking a timeout when the building was going off and you had 6 points. And again, it's fitting that those 3 guys, the 3 keys to the Warriors without Durant, Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson, make those threes that end up being the decisive blows in the game. How much does this one sting?
I mean, it hurts. It hurts. One of the things you have to do in this situation is put it behind you. It's over. It's done. Game 5 is in the books. You got to move on to game 6.
Can you do that, though, when you're that
If you want to win a championship, yes. You have to do that. That's one of the challenges from being in the playoffs. You have to make sure you have to have a very, very quick memory. So the Raptors, they just need to adjust. Look at that horror film from the last 2 minutes tomorrow morning. Get on the plane and get ready to take care of business in Oakland.
3-2 up. They would have taken that before the series.
You're going to take that too, man. You're going to take 3-2. You're going to take any kind of lead. This one does sting, but you can rebound. It's not an elimination game as long as they don't let it creep in their minds and let it mess with them as a team. They'll be okay.
You think maybe the road might help, which sounds silly. That's a tough building to play in, but they won 2 there. And the pressure of knowing that this arena, this city, this country was ready to burst, maybe got to them a little bit.
A little bit.
Particularly
Absolutely.
early.
And you know what? That's one of the pressures that you have to deal with. I think for everybody, not only here, but the arena, Jurassic Park outside, and I guess they extended Jurassic Park on down the street.
It's basically
as well.
Jurassic downtown.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's great. But sometimes you can get antsy a little bit, and it can be difficult. It's not easy closing out a team. You have to know that things are going to happen. Tonight happened. Now you have to regroup and get better.
And the loss of Durant, it was awful to see, but that has to at least give the Raptors confidence, because without Durant, they won 3 of the first 5.
Well, I mean, tonight was a bit of a different story because they had to adjust to Durant, him being in the lineup, starting at the 5 tonight. You know, I'm sure it kind of threw them off. Now they can go right back to where they were, the same game plan, but they have to improve it now and make sure they do what they need to do to capitalize.
We knew it was not going to be this easy. That's why they're the Warriors, 3-time world champions, 5 straight finals, and the Raptors found that out tonight. The tip of a Draymond Green finger getting a little piece of Kyle Lowry's shot. We never know if it would have gone in anyway, but Lowry thought it looked good, so you can pretend. And off to Oakland we go for Game 6, guys.
Appreciate it, gentlemen. So,
Just the tip.
it's strange. After a game in Toronto, there's not many people on the court, but you'll watch after Game 6 in Oakland, there will be 8,000 people on the court behind them.
Yeah, and 7,000 of them will be Raptors fans cheering their team on after they win the title on TSN.
And Jimmy Buckets, he just said the country was ready to burst. Look at it this way. You're putting more pressure into the balloon so then it can burst bigger.
I don't buy any of that extra pressure got to them. They had a bad couple of minutes at the end of the game. They came back after being down the entire game and lost by 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it happens. They're the Golden State's the defending champs. It's going to happen. They're going to have to play a lot better at Oracle, though, if they're going to win it, even with Kevin Durant out of the lineup. When we come back, Canada kicks off their World Cup in France as Christine Sinclair chases an all-time record.
Tim Hortons draft through. Golden State Warriors beat the Raptors 106-105. They live to see another day. So the Raptors do not win their first ever NBA title. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson combined to score 57 points in the win. Kyle Lowry had a chance to win the game in the final seconds of regulation, but missed a corner 3 that the Warriors got a finger on. Golden State brought back Kevin Durant, who had not played since early May, got off to a great start, scored 11 points in the first quarter. Unfortunately, his return was cut short in the second quarter when his Achilles gave out. It was horrific to watch. After halftime, Warriors announced Durant would not return to the game with that Achilles injury. We'll get an MRI on Tuesday. But Kevin Durant tried his best. He came back, but he gave the Warriors a boost, and they captured Game 6 and make that Game 5. Game 6 is on TSN. Raps and Warriors, Thursday. Coverage starts at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
And yes, Thursday on TSN, Game 6. Thursday. Today, the greatest player in Canadian soccer history turns 36 years old. Christine Sinclair is the oldest Canadian player to feature at a World Cup, and she goes into this year's tournament 3 goals away from tying American Abby Wambach's record of 184 career World Cup goals. Canada opened the tournament against Cameroon on Monday. Group E action. Sinclair. The header, just off the mark in the 3rd minute. Canada entering the World Cup unbeaten in 9 straight matches, late first half. Kadisha Buchanan, she was a youngster at the World Cup in 2015. She scores her 4th goal for Canada, and they take a 1-0 lead into the half. Oh, the Raptors tribute celebration. Very nice. Sinclair in the 88th, off the corner. Can't get a good touch on it. Oh, that was a nice opportunity. The number 5 ranked Canadians hold on, though. They take their first match over Cameroon 1-0. Here is Kadisha Buchanan on her goal.
As we keep them in the game, the more they'll come in and the game will be tighter. So we wanted to score early and just kind of release that pressure off our backs. And great cross from Janine, and just the finish was easy.
Now, Canada's next game will be against the Kiwis. New Zealand, Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific time on CTV and TSN.
I tell you, these are fantastic start times.
Yes, great time to watch sports.
Yeah, because it's pretty limited what you can watch. I need things to watch.
During the day when you're at home by yourself, lonely, you're always excited when the delivery guys come. Enter your house.
They literally
They enter your house without knocking.
there was a delivery guy delivering a Team Canada jersey for me. He just walked into my house.
You live in Mayberry, I think.
But hey, it was a Team Canada jersey. I said, come on in.
Yeah, bring it on.
For 24 years, I have been to every single Raptors home game. I've seen it all, mostly from courtside, seat A12. And for the first time, Raptors are in the finals, and the whole world is looking at this seat. Some see Indian, some see Canadian, some see both, some see a turban. I hope they see diversity and loyalty. I hope people see why Canada is so special. I don't know if Raptors are going to win championship finals or not, but I do know one thing. Courtside seat A12 will never be empty.
Jenny time.
Livingston. There's Gasol again with the help.
Warriors and Raps. Boogie Cousins tries the three. Kyle Lowry, the steal, takes it all the way for the layup. Hey, Boogie. Not going to work. He actually was pretty good.
Cubs and Rockies. There's one up the middle. Nolan Arenado comes across the diamond, flips it to second.
Oh, man.
For the out. Nolan Arenado.
He is worth the price of admission. A's, Rays, Jerks, and Profar. Sends one to left center. This is a classic Gold Glover Kevin Kiermaier. At St. Pete, Clearwater Beach. That's America's beach.
Let's see more from that Cubs and Rockies game. Yu Darvish chopper up the middle. Ryan McMahon fields it. Got him! God, yeah, the chopper off the plate. That's why it bounced so high.
Again from the A's and Rays. Matt Chapman sends one to left. Tommy Pham. Look at these Rays outfielders. Covering a lot of ground at the Trop.
Pirates.
Worst ballpark ever.
And Braves. Ronald Acuna Jr.
Oh my
That's a
goodness.
grand slam, but we're supposed to watch the fan.
Oh, wow!
Leaping
Wow.
bare-handed catch.
That guy! In your life! Nice work.
He can help himself.
Pirates, Braves. Kevin Gausman at the dish. Foul ball hits Elias Diaz
What a painful inning for
in the testicles.
Elias Diaz. So he wants to the catcher. Once on the elbow.
Oh, my testicles.
Braves and Phillies, the NBC Sports broadcast crew invites the Philly fanatic into the booth and makes a mess in there. Is that John Kruk?
You're not even Kruk didn't seem too happy about that.
That's what happens when you invite a mascot into a
I gotta tell
confined
you,
environment.
And I don't know if it was obvious, but I find the Philly fanatic hilarious. I mean, he's so funny. He's just always entertaining people.
Do him and Gritty ever do anything together?
Yeah, I think they did when Gritty first kind of came out. The Fanatic gave him his, blessing. Because the Fanatic is the greatest mascot in all of sports.
That's aside from Youppi.
Youppi is pretty awesome, too.
The offseason of change in Edmonton continues. The club announced Monday that Bob Nicholson has been promoted to chairman of the Oilers. And Tom Anselmi has joined the club as president of business operations and CEO. Nicholson had been CEO and vice chair of the Oilers since 2014, while Anselmi resigned as CEO of the Sens back in February, which kind of went under the cover of darkness.
So Edmonton just adding more people to the front office. But this is on, Darren Drager first reported this. This is a business move. Nothing to do with the hockey stuff. Ken Holland is going to run that.
Got me.
Pretty sure. Dan, Tony Parker announced his retirement on Monday after 18 seasons in the association. Last season, Yeah, you may not have known this, but he played for Charlotte. The previous 17 seasons were with San Antonio, where he was incredible. 6-time All-Star, 4 NBA titles, including 2007, where Parker, a native of France, won the NBA Finals MVP. This reminds me very much of when Michael Jordan finished his career with the Washington Wizards. It's something that many of us just try to block from our minds, pretend that didn't happen. That's how I feel about that last season in Charlotte.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't know he was there. A Canadian R.J. Barrett is projected to be a top 3 pick in the upcoming NBA draft. On Monday, the Toronto native met with the New York Knicks, who hold the 3rd pick, and he made it clear he won't be meeting with anyone else.
I won't be meeting with any other team, so yeah, it's this and then the draft.
So you expect the Knicks to take you then?
Hey man, you know, if that ends up and I'm still there at 3, yeah, for sure, I would love for him to take me.
And this was it, like since Chicago, this has been the only workout meeting.
Yeah, for sure. You know, this is the place I want to be, so you know, I hope they draft me.
RJ, how much do you think the time you spent here in New York as a kid with your dad and your mom kind of helps you, know New York and everything, and make you want to play here?
Yeah, I mean, it feels great, you know, just growing up, coming here every summer. So, man, I feel like, I know the place well enough, I guess, to call it home. I got family here, so it's great.
It would be a shock if he's not in a Knicks uniform. It's next Thursday, June the 20th at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. That's the draft. You got Zion. He's going to go #1 to the Pellies. You got Ja Morant. He's going to go to Memphis at 2. They need a point guard.
And then the Canadian at 3.
And then RJ comes
I guess they call New York home.
How fun would that be? Just a quick hour flight back to Toronto, hang out?
That's right. You can see Billy Joel in concert once a month at Madison Square Garden.
My thought would be that James Dolan, the owner of the Knicks, probably get him some pretty good tickets to see the Piano Man.
Yeah. Check those floor seats. Not cheap.
Yeah, but you're a big-time Canadian TV star. You can afford it.
Let's stress the Canadian. Still to come.
Here we go. It is CFL kickoff weekend. Thursday night football. First game of the year. Riders and Tabbies. And then Friday night football. Do we have the Friday night football, ladies? All right, they're busy. Then Saturday, a doubleheader.
Worst play of the day, we're going to Philly. Philly fanatic. What a goofball. Have they not learned? Don't ever give the Philly fanatic popcorn.
Look at Croc. He's so mad.
They had to vacuum him off.
Oh, crap. Crocky. Highlight of the night. NBA Finals Game 5. Boogie Cousins tries to make a 3. Kyle Lowry the steal, the lay-in. In the end, Kyle Lowry's game-winning attempt from the baseline with seconds left was blocked. Fingertips by Draymond Green. Fingertips. We blew it, our segment where we point out our errors. I said Christine Sinclair turned 36 today. It's actually tomorrow. It's Wednesday.
Wednesday, okay.
You were eating a chocolate cookie before your top 10 introduction.
Chocolate chip cookie, yeah.
Chocolate chip cookie, and it left your mouth really pasty. Really pasty.
No, pasty. I was dripping.
Left his mouth drippy. Oh, drippy mouth, though, too.
It was like, after you eat something delicious, your mouth, like, salivates.
Oh, right, salivating.
They call me drippy mouth.
Oh, drippy mouth now. Sports Center with Jay and Drippy Mouth, brought to you by Tim Hortons Clothing by Indochino. And you gave Gino Reda III an old-timey voice.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate. Say it.